guys, Greg here, Bone Tactical. Today we're going to talk about this monster landscaping of this project, my dream shop build, but really just a monster of a landscaping project. Did it all myself, did it all by hand, and yeah, we're getting there, we're getting done. Just check out what we got behind me right now, and I'm going to go through step by step and talk about all of this wood and sandbags and rock and gravel that we put in here. So check it out right now. So you guys have seen probably how we've done our system of swales for water flow, okay, all over the property. We've done a rock retaining wall here. This is where the water comes off from my shower, from my washing station, from my container home build, all right? Down here, you guys have already seen that we've planted grass. So this kind of dirt is not like necessarily the most amazing for grass. So we have gone ahead and done a system of retaining walls. And first we did retaining walls with bags, sandbags, okay? But we used chicken feed bags and then converted them to sandbags because there's a local chicken house here that a friend of mine has and gives me a really good price on the bag. So we paid next to nothing. Just filling 200 pounds of dirt into them and moving them around on the property was a bit of a task. I think we've got about 200-pound sandbags put in here, and they were just more cost effective than the rock retaining wall. What we have actually come up with to fortify the sandbags, because the sandbags work great just with a period of time, getting wet, dry, wet, and then the UV will cause the bags to bust. So we're using scrap wood, which around here where I'm building this project was actually a piece of property where they harvested all the pine. There was a bunch of pine, behind me over here. And then what you can see right here actually is the shoulders of the pine, what they call the shoulders. And that's the part of the wood that the people that came out here and harvested this wood to create 2x4s and stuff like that. They don't use the shoulders. So what you see here is all the scrap wood or the garbage, what they end up either throwing away or selling really cheap. And we just bought it like dirt cheap from them because they usually don't use it for anything but like firewood. So we got all these shoulders, and that's what you see that we're putting in front, the shoulders in front of the sandbags. And then what that does is it protects the sandbags from getting so much UV. And then that sand inside the sandbags actually eventually will settle and become kind of hard. We're gonna do a little bit of adobe work, and then we're gonna fill in between the sandbags and the wood walls there, we're gonna fill with adobe, which is like a mud, and that will just further fully protect. It'll kind of settle and harden, and then we'll have a retaining wall. So we're moving and shaking. We've got about half of the retaining wall done there. We've got shoulders here at the bottom too, and what that does is it allows the water to slow. I'll show you over here. We've got more swales so that the water has actually a place to run off. So here's another swale right here that's been created specifically for water runoff. Okay, so that's the second level there where the workers' bathrooms are. And then this is the far side water runoff. We've got another water runoff over here. I'll show you in a minute. So these are the other water runoff areas right here. So basically right there and right there, the water comes down, runs off all the way to there. You can see there's some broken sandbags busted from the sun. So we're putting the shoulders in front of all these sandbags to prevent any further busting. And then you can see we've actually started with some adobe on these ones. So we're gonna do the combination of the two, of the pine shoulders and adobe, and then it'll kind of firm everything up. Basically, it will allow for the grass to grow, give it some time for the land to settle, because all of this was just a kind of a natural mountain, and we cut the top off the mountain, and then everything that fell down here, all of this was just loose sand that was the top of the mountain. So everything has to kind of settle, and we're doing the most cost-effective and work-effective option without heavy equipment. We're doing all this by hand for giving that time and allowing for the land to settle. And we're doing a little bit of it at a time. Also, with the budgeting and trying to be intelligent as a business owner, I have to be intelligent to be able to keep investing in new products, designing new stuff, and then also such a massive project needs to be done carefully. So that's why we're using as much local materials as we can. These stumps you can see here is a temporary fix for the final area where there's water runoff. Okay, there's a giant canyon over here behind me where the final destination for the water is, but this is the last little section where the water goes to the canyon on the property. And we just pulled all of this. Basically, this is also wood that the wood harvesters, lumberjacks, and logging companies, excuse me, left behind. So I just hooked a chain to all these stumps and roots and drug them over here. And this is temporarily allowing my road to stay here until I can use the pipes that I built. I built a big giant concrete tubing from scratch. I'll show you that here in a second, but there's going to be we'll do another specific section for the water to run under this road right here. Like I said, I'll show you that in a second. But we're working our way around here, and then this will be the ultimate section. We haven't seeded grass in here yet, but we will be seeding grass in this area. There's the rest of the wood that we pulled out. We're able to find a bunch of wood. We cured it with burnt motor oil and diesel fuel. So we cured the rest of those, which are going to be posts. And that's also, like I said, that's pieces of pine that the logging company didn't take. Cut those up with an axe I built. You guys saw in another video what the actual posts are going to look like. The last thing I'll show you in this video is going to be the actual concrete tubing that we built. So let's go check that out. So here's the culverts that I'm talking about here behind me. What I ended up doing was bought 4 of this concrete tubing, or metal tubing, excuse me, and used it to make a mold for the concrete. Okay, so just put some concrete cookies and then wrapped metal rebar mesh over the top of it and boxed it in, and then poured concrete. So pretty cool. What we're gonna do is put one of these on top of the other. So just kind of double them up together like this, one on top of the other, and then use these we've got enough for at least 2 different sections. Way at the entrance, I'm gonna do a culvert where water can pass under the road, and then there down where we were just talking about having to finish the final section so water can run under the road. We're gonna do that as well. So thanks for watching. Questions, comments below. Let me know what you guys wanna see more of. Bone out.